How is everyone in terms of my WWE Money in the Bank 2019 pay-per-view? Of course, Money in the Bank aired live on the WWE Network tonight. And overall, I gotta say, coming out of Money in the Bank, I thought it was a decent show. I really didn't enjoy it all that much. To me, it was a two-match show. I only like two matches, really. Besides that, everything else was kind of just bleh. It was kind of just there. You know, you had a lot of bad booking in terms of the finishes. Like the referees, I don't know if the referees were high or what, but the referees were just fucking up finishes left and right on this show. I don't know what the deal was with that, whether it was storylined on purpose or just them fucking up. I don't know what the deal was, but the referees were just absolutely terrible tonight, and some of the finishes were just and then just, I don't know, the booking was just I mean, the show honestly kind of perfectly represents the state of WWE currently, because you have a lot of negative and bad shit, but then you have, you know, some great stuff. You know, of course, like I said, this is a two-match show. You had two great matches, but besides that, everything else is kind of just bad, and that's kind of how WWE goes. You know, you have a few good things to great thing, you know, a few good to great things, and everything else is kind of just bad, and that's really kind of the state of the WWE in general right now. So, Money in the Bank, decent show. It wasn't terrible, but I wouldn't say it was good either, but that's just my personal opinion. Of course, before we get into the main show, we had the kickoff show 1 hour prior to the pay-per-view, which featured the Usos taking on Bryan and Rowan. This was a good match on the kickoff show. The Usos, you know, had some frequent tags, and then of course got cut off by Bryan and Rowan. Rowan and Bryan pretty much just dominated the majority of the match. Rowan at one point ripped his shirt off for no reason at all. Did a double suplex onto both the Usos, which was a nice spot. Bryan, you know, was just laying in his kicks left and right. Usos had a comeback. You know, took out Rowan, ended up hitting him with multiple super kicks to take him out on the outside, and ended up hitting Bryan with a super kick, followed by a double Uso splash from the top rope to pin Bryan. Usos win 1, 2, 3. Wasn't a fan of the Usos winning it. I think this is the dumbest portion of 50-50 booking, you know, you could do. You know, you have newly crowned tag team champions immediately lose to a team that's not even on the same brand as them. Didn't make any fucking sense for the Usos to win. No reason at all the Usos should beat the SmackDown Tag Team Champions when they're on Raw. I know the wild card rules in effect, so they can appear on both shows, but still, you shouldn't be beating your newly crowned Tag Team Champions, especially from a team on the opposite brand. To me, that's just absolutely fucking stupid. Good match. I mean, it wasn't as good as their SmackDown Live match a couple weeks ago when Bryan and Rowan won the Tag Team titles initially, but it's still a good match with just, you know, the wrong team won, in my opinion. So, it was what it was. And then, of course, we go to the main show, which opened up with the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I didn't like this match. I thought it was very sloppy and messy. I know this match is getting a lot of mixed reviews. Some people thought it was great. Some people thought it was actually outstanding. I saw a tweet someone say. And then there's people like me that just didn't enjoy it. I mean, it wasn't a terrible match, I would say. Like, they did work hard. They definitely tried to make it good. But I just feel like everything was so rehearsed that you can tell they tried these spots multiple times to the point where they didn't perfect it. They end up just fucking up because they, you know, did it so many times, and the spots just came off very sloppy. I didn't enjoy them, and I don't know. I mean, there are some good spots. It definitely had its moments. You know, Nikki Cross very early on did the whole, you know, helicopter spot with the ladder where she's going around, which people are taking it terribly. I mean, Mandy Rose took it awful, which I love Mandy, but the way she took it was just absolutely horrendous. Ember Moon had a cool spot where she did the eclipse off a ladder from the outside to the inside, which came off absolutely awesome. Naomi had a cool spot where, you know, they went to crush her at the ladders, and then she did splits, and everyone had crushing each other. So that was a cool spot. But yeah, it was very sloppy to me. I didn't enjoy it. I just, you know, everything came off really, really bad, if you ask me, and I didn't like it, especially Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke came off like the biggest dumb fuck in the world because, okay, she's in the ring for about a solid 5 minutes by herself. At least it seems like it. Obviously, she wasn't in the ring that long by herself, but it seemed like she was in the ring for like 20 minutes, you know, honestly, by herself. But she's in there adjusting the ladder, as if the ladder wasn't already under the briefcase. She's in there like adjusting it, hitting the thing that, puts the ladder straight down. I just can't comprehend how fucking stupid Dana Brooke came across in this match. It just boggled my mind. And then, of course, she climbs it, and then I forgot who got in the match, and she ended up, like, holding on to the briefcase, not even the briefcase itself, but the thing that, you know, the hook that's holding it. Dana Brooke just blew my mind how fucking stupid she is in this match. And she's not the only one. In the men's Money in the Bank, Ali did the same fucking thing. But yeah, Carmella did a spot where she was injured, which came out very awkwardly because I thought she was actually injured because even Mandy looked confused that she's fucking up the spot. Like, what are you doing? Like, Mandy went to do something, and the exchange was so awkward. Like, Mandy even threw her hand up, like, what are you doing? And then Carmella, of course, was injured and got taken away, but she ended up coming back like 5 minutes later. Ended up interrupting. I think it was Mandy that was climbing the ladder. Fought down Mandy, ended up climbing up. Sonya got involved, took out Carmella, and then Mandy, Sonya ended up putting Mandy on her shoulders, comes with the ladder, puts Mandy on top. And then out of nowhere, Bayley runs up, pushes her off the ladder. Both Mandy and Sonya pushes them off, which was very stupid. Mandy was right there, had it, and just stopped because Bayley runs up. It's like, hi, I'm Bayley. Pushes. fucking stupid. And Bayley becomes Miss Money in the Bank, so Bayley does win the match. I didn't want Bayley to win. She was actually one of the people I didn't want to win because I didn't think she needed it. I really wanted Mandy Rose to win it, but Bayley wins it and makes the briefcase meaningless, and we'll see later on why the briefcase was meaningless. So good for Bayley winning it. I don't hate that she won it, but I definitely didn't want her to win it. So it is what it is. What can you do? Backstage, you had Sami Zayn complaining about Triple H, about Braun Strowman trying to kill him. Just, you know, it was a segment. From there, we go to the United States Championship match. Samoa Joe taking on Rey Mysterio. Mysterio pins him in a minute. You know, Samoa Joe goes for a powerbomb. Rey counters into Hurricanrana pin, pins him. And the thing is, Samoa Joe's shoulder is clearly up. The referee can clearly see Samoa Joe's left shoulder is up just off the one count. It was one count, and then Joe's shoulder was clearly up, but yet the referee counted 3. Rey Mysterio is a brand new United States champion. Fucking stupid. And then, of course, Joe just kills Mysterio, gives him a lot of insecurities, while Samoa Joe's son, Dominic, watches Joe just kill Rey. Joe's nose is all busted up, and he's bleeding all over the place, so I don't know. I decided it was stupid. I don't know the reasoning behind them booking the match the way it was, but what can you do? Mysterio's new U.S. champion, don't care for it, and don't know why they had such a short match, but it was what it was. Backstage, we had Braun Strowman destroying everything backstage because, you know, he was banned by Triple H, and yet he showed up because why the fuck not? From there, we go to the steel cage match. The Miz taking on Shane McMahon. It was a match. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't anything that spectacular. Miz was very dominant. You know, he was scaling Shane against the cage. Shane tried to immediately escape, and then, you know, Shane tried to, you know, beat up Miz. Went for the coast to coast at one point, but Miz caught him into a slingshot into the cage. Shane ended up dragging a steel chair into the ring at one point, which Miz ended up using against Shane. Ended up hitting a skull-crushing finale, actually, onto the chair for a 2 count because Shane put his foot on the rope, but the referee stopped the count, even though before the match they made it clear that there are no disqualifications, no rope breaks, no nothing in a steel cage, yet there was a rope break for a pin, because why the fuck not? And then, of course, you know, Miz tried to hit a skull crushing finale off the top rope. Shane escaped it, tried to climb out. Miz, you know, grabbed Shane, went back to WrestleMania, thought, you know what, I have Shane in this position, why not do it? So, of course, Miz tried to give Shane a superplex off of the cage. Well, not off the cage, but, like, you know, Shane was over the cage, and he's trying to, like, you know, maneuver him over it to do the superplex. But Miz took his time. Shane ended up slipping through his shirt, or his jersey, and then fell onto the ground, and Shane McMahon defeats The Miz. Completely expected Shane to beat Miz here, even though I think Miz should definitely won this match. But I do think, like I said in my predictions video, they're building up Shane to face Roman Reigns in the future. So that's obviously the direction they're going in. So whatever. It was a fine match. Definitely not as good as a WrestleMania match, but it was what it was. They're advertising that tomorrow night on Raw, Mick Foley will introduce a brand new championship. Just what they fucking need. More titles. Good job there. Sami Zayn is found backstage, tied up upside down, as if he just got killed. I don't know. I like the way it's shot, though. You know, Triple H, like, yelling at the cameraman to leave, and then, like, he closed the curtains. I like the way it was shot, and definitely brings interest, but why it was Sami Zayn of all people, I don't know. But it definitely intrigued me, and I'm definitely interested to see where it leads going forward, you know, on Raw and whatnot. From there, we go to the WWE Cruiserweight Championship match. Tony Nese defending against Ariya Daivari. Fucking, not only does Ariya Daivari of all people get on the main show of a pay-per-view, but this motherfucker had a car entrance. He had like they went all out on this guy. Why? I don't fucking know. Match itself is fine. The crowd was dead. No one cared for it. You know, Tony Nese looked good. Ariya Daivari is Ariya Daivari. The last couple minutes were good, though. I enjoyed it, where Tony Nese hit a 450, and then Ariya Daivari kicked out. Ariya Daivari ended up, you know, just destroying Tony Nese, I believe, with some super kicks. Hit him with his finisher, which was, you know, the lariat, for a nice near fall. And then Tony Nese had to come back, hit a Hurricanrana, I believe, and then followed up with the running knee in the corner to defeat Ariya Daivari. It was a fine match. Nothing that stood out. You know, not like past previous Cruiserweight title matches we've had on main shows, like at the Super Showdown or Survivor Series last year. This was just there. Crowd didn't care, and definitely was not worthy to be in the main show. So it was what it was. Triple H is backstage with Braun Strowman, basically saying, Braun, why did you do what you did? And Braun's like, what the fuck are you talking about? So that happened. Then, of course, we go to the Raw Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch defending against Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans, the real Rainmaker, not Kachika Okada. But this match was what it was. You know, it was kind of to be perfectly honest, kind of like your average TV Becky Lynch match, where the person she's with is kind of, I don't want to say carrying her, but they're getting more of the offense. And this definitely was a good showcase for Lacey Evans. I thought Lacey Evans looked really good. The way she carried herself and the way she was actually, you know, wrestling, I thought she did very well. Becky Lynch did her average stuff, you know, a lot of leaps and a lot of, you know, leaping forearms. Just your kind of typical, like I said, Becky Lynch TV match, honestly. And again, with the shitty finishes, you know, Lacey Evans has Becky Lynch pinned for like a 15 count, but the referee's like he's literally like running around in circles around him, like, you know, checking the shoulder, even though it's like, dude, both shoulders are clearly fucking down. But then, of course, as he's taking his fucking precious time trying to see the shoulders down, Becky counters into this armor, and then Lacey Evans immediately taps out. So Becky Lynch retains the Raw Women's Championship. The match, like I said, was kind of like an average Becky Lynch TV match. Then after that, of course, Charlotte comes out, and Charlotte's like, we're doing the match now. Fucking right, wait until later, we're doing it now. Then Cole's like, oh my god, the match got moved to now. So we now have Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. They have a 5-minute sprint or so. It wasn't bad. It was definitely better than their Fastlane match, I'll give them that. But, you know, it really wasn't much to it. It was a lot of chop blocking because, you know, Lacey Evans chop blocked Becky Lynch's leg towards the end. So, of course, Charlotte tried to work on that, but Becky wasn't allowing it. You know, Charlotte tried to do a natural selection onto the outside, but Becky Lynch gave her a forearm, which I thought came off pretty nicely for the most part. And then the finish came where, you know, Becky looked like she was getting the upper hand, and then she was on the ropes, and then Lacey Evans came out of nowhere, hit her with the woman's right. Charlotte tried to capitalize on it, but Becky Lynch kicked out, or Becky Lynch countered into a cradle. Charlotte kicked out, and Charlotte ended up hitting a big boot on Becky Lynch and pins her 1, 2, 3. Charlotte is your brand new SmackDown Women's Champion, because why the fuck not? You know, I don't mean to get off topic. I mean, it's on topic, but I want to stay on Money in the Bank, but I just absolutely fucking hate how they make someone a double champion, and then they immediately make them lose one of the titles. It completely takes away the purpose of even putting both titles on them. You should put both titles on them and make them have it for a while. To showcase, like, hey, I actually deserve both these championships. I just didn't get lucky. I actually have a reason to have both these championships. And then, of course, you know, WWE, I shouldn't have been surprised by this, but it just makes no fucking sense to me. So Charlotte wins the championship for the 9th fucking time because you have to make Charlotte have 16 women's title reigns. So of course we're building towards that. But yeah, just another useless Charlotte title reign. And of course after the match, you know, Charlotte and Lacey are beating down, you know, Becky for whatever fucking reason. And then out comes Bayley. She clears the ring. She throws Charlotte into the post. Cashes in her Money in the Bank. Hits an elbow drop on the top rope. And Bayley is your brand new SmackDown Women's Champion. So I understand they probably didn't want Bayley to cash in on Becky Lynch and beat her, but I'm kind of over the Money in the Bank briefcase. I'm really tired of them having people win it and then immediately cash it in. To me, it defeats the whole purpose of having the briefcase and just completely devalues it. I don't even care for Money in the Bank anymore. I want to get excited for it, but when they do shit like this, I mean, this is exactly what they did last year. Lexa won it last year, and she cashed in the very same night. And here we are again, a year later, and did the same exact fucking thing. But I mean, I'm glad for Bayley. It's definitely a re-emergence she needs. You know, she's really been kind of dead in the water for the past almost 2 years, even though her and Sasha won the women's tag team titles. That really didn't help her out at all. But, you know, since moving to SmackDown Live, even though she lost to Charlotte that one time, she won the SmackDown Women's title a month after being shipped off to that show. So it definitely re-emerges her character and definitely adds interest back to her. So I'm glad for her for that reason, that, you know, we can kind of get interested into the Bayley character again. But I just hate the hot potato and just the way they played the whole thing out. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I thought it was stupid, but it is what it is. The matches were fine, but nothing really to them. Roman Reigns was Elias. Elias lays out Roman Reigns backstage with the guitar, goes in the ring, does a concert, says goodbye. As he's leaving, Roman Reigns comes out, gives a Superman punch, throws in the ring. Referee rings a bell, spear, 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns defeats Elias in about 5 seconds. I'm glad it played out the way it did, because honestly, I did not want to sit through a 10 to 15 minute Roman Reigns versus Elias match. So the quicker the match, the better, and that's exactly what they did. So thank you for making this match a squash match. I really appreciate it. And from there, we go to which I thought was match of the night, the Universal Championship match. Seth Rollins defending against AJ Styles. These two went out there and had a phenomenal match. This could be arguably WWE's match of the year. In my personal opinion, you can put this against the Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan match from WrestleMania last month. This was that good. The intensity and the search the sense of urgency from these two men really came out, and you definitely feel like, you know, they kind of were just told to go out there and have a great match. You know, there really wasn't anything holding back. There wasn't even a bullshit, you know, ending. It was a clean, you know, cut through finish, and that made the match even better. And you had a lot of great spots in this match. They were really hitting their shit in, by the way, too. Like AJ nearly killed Rollins with a knee on the outside. I really liked, you know, Styles, you know, pulling down Rollins on the ropes, and Rollins kind of ricocheted, but he ricocheted off the other ropes and did a suicide dive on the outside. I thought that was a great spot right there. Just a lot of smooth transitions. You know, the wrestling in this match is superb. You know, like Rollins going for the knee, but, you know, AJ countering into the Oshikuroshi, which was just absolutely phenomenal. Or, you know, Styles, or not Styles, Rollins countering, I think, the forearm into the ripcord knee, which was a great spot. Beautiful transition from Styles into the calf crusher on the Rollins, which came off beautifully. I just absolutely loved the way he countered it. And the best part about this match, and I lost my shit during this spot, was when Rollins went for the curb stomp and fucking AJ Styles countered it into the Styles Clash. How he did that was beyond me. Hit it for a great near fall right there, but of course he kicked out. And then of course AJ went for the phenomenal forearm. Seth Rollins was able to counter it, hit a handful of super kicks followed by the stomp for the 1-2-3. So AJ Styles does not beat Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins defeats AJ Styles to retain the Universal Championship, and which was a spectacular match. These two went out there and just tore the house down and had the absolute best match on the show. Hands out to both guys for absolutely having a phenomenal wrestling match. Like I said, arguably WWE's match of the year. Like I said, I'd put this against Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston for WrestleMania. It was that phenomenal, and no pun intended for AJ Styles. And I think it delivered for every aspect, or I think it delivered for everyone's, you know, expectations, if not more. So very, very excited for the way the match turned out, and yeah, it was awesome. I absolutely loved it. And of course, afterwards, AJ Styles was kind of like, I don't want to do it, but, you know, you beat me fair and square, and shook Seth Rollins' hand to give him a sign of respect. So that was a cool moment. But yeah, successful title defense for Seth Rollins, made him look good, beating AJ Styles clean, and didn't make AJ Styles look bad in defeat either. So it was a win-win. After that, we had Lars Sullivan attacking Lucha House Party, who they were scheduled for a 6-man tag team match, and Lars came out and just killed them. You know, typical Lars stuff. And then we go to the WWE Championship match, Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens. This was a good match. You know, there really wasn't much to it, but it was good for what it was. Right from the get-go, they brawled. Kevin Owens in a nice spot where he did a frog splash on the outside to Kofi Kingston, threw him back in the ring. There was some nice back and forth, you know, transitions and counters. You know, Kevin Owens went for the stunner a handful of times, but Kofi Kingston countered out of it. Kevin Owens hit a pop-up powerbomb for a great near fall. Kofi Kingston hit a beautiful SOS on Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens at one point ended up taking Kofi Kingston's boots off for what reason, I don't know. And then, of course, the finish came with Kevin Owens tried to hit a stunner. Kofi Kingston, I forgot what he did, but Kevin Owens kind of ricocheted and ended up getting hit with the Trouble in Paradise by Kofi Kingston. And Kofi Kingston pins Kevin Owens 1-2-3 to retain the WWE Championship. Like I said, it was a good match, but it wasn't, honestly, to my expectations. I thought it'd be better, but it was what it was. It wasn't bad. It was a good title defense for Kofi Kingston. They're definitely getting behind Kofi Kingston. You know, you would have never thought they would have got behind Kofi Kingston, but man, they're really putting effort into him. They're really making him a credible WWE champion, and you know, I can get behind it. I'm behind them as long as they're behind, you know, Kofi Kingston's champion, and I'm along for the ride. He's been a great champion so far, so what's there to complain about? But yeah, Kofi Kingston and Kevin Owens, good match, but definitely could have been better if you ask me. Then, of course, go to the main event, which was the Money in the Bank contract ladder match. Of course, this ended up being a 7-man match instead of an 8-man match because Sami Zayn never, you know, he was taken to the local medical facility because they can't say hospital for a reason, and they never gave a replacement. So why? I don't know. Well, we end up finding out why at the end of the match, but this was a great Money in the Bank ladder match. Everyone just went out there and absolutely fucking killed each other right from the get-go. Randy Orton was killing Balor, Ali, I think Ricochet with his infamous, you know, announcers spot where he just dumps him on the announce table, which I thought was great. McIntyre and Corbin worked together, and then, you know, they fought against Orton, and then McIntyre absolutely killed Orton with a Claymore. Ricochet had his infamous spots. He took a gruesome ladder spot for McIntyre. McIntyre just fucking tossed him over his head onto the ladder, which is just absolutely brutal. Ali hit a Spanish fly off a ladder, which I'm just kind of over Spanish flies at this point, to be perfectly honest. Andrade absolutely killed Finn Balor. Finn Balor was dead. Like, Finn Balor, first off, got power bombed off the ladder onto a ladder, and then he got choke slammed onto a ladder, and then what the fuck happened to him? I think he got McIntyre did his like the inverted Alabama Slam. I forgot who he did it to onto Balor. So Balor just was absolutely dead at some point in this match. He was just, I'm pretty sure he wasn't breathing. McIntyre and Corbin went at it, and then all of a sudden, you know, Ali was the lonesome guy in the ring, and he climbed the ladder, and he has a briefcase in his hand, right? He's at the very top of the ladder, he's holding the briefcase, he has it in his fucking hand, and you know what happens? Brock fucking Lesnar comes out, and all he has a briefcase in his hands, he has it, and Brock's music hits, and he goes, what the fuck are you doing? Brock had a sprint, and for whatever reason, Brock like pushed the ladder into the cameraman. He had at least a good solid 5 to 10 seconds still by the time Brock's music hit and by the time Brock got in the ring. But yeah, he stood there. You're fucking stupid, dude. I couldn't comprehend how stupid that was. But Brock comes in the ring, pushes Ollie, kills him, then Brock climbs the ladder, retrieves a briefcase, and wins the Money in the Bank briefcase. Yes, Brock Lesnar is Mr. Money in the Bank. For the fucking 5th year in a row, they have just completely thrown away the briefcase. Ever since Sheamus won it, it's just been thrown away. Sheamus, no one gave a fuck for him. He won it. Ambrose cashed in the same night. Corbin cashed in and lost. Strowman cashed in and lost. And now fucking Brock Lesnar has it. We haven't had an actual Money in the Bank winner since Seth Rollins. And that's just so... What's the point of having it anymore? They clearly don't give a shit for the briefcase, so what's the point of even keeping it around? I don't fucking know, but it's very, very frustrating and annoying. Brock Lesnar, obviously, I'm pretty sure he's going to cash in at the next Saudi show, which is Super Showdown in like 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure it's going to be him and Rollins for the Universal title again. And I just don't get the point of the briefcase anymore at this point when they're just throwing it away. So Lesnar wins Money in the Bank, which is just absolutely hilarious because everyone in that match killed themselves, but no one in that match fucking won. That's what makes it so funny to me. They all killed themselves for absolutely no reason at all. And it was hysterical. So what can you do? Brock Lesnar is Mr. Money in the Bank, and I don't know. I really don't fucking know, but it is what it is. What can you do? And yeah, that'll do it for my review, guys. Like I said, Money in the Bank, I thought it was a decent show. Obviously, I didn't really like it. I thought a lot of people came off looking really, really stupid. Referees were fucking up like no tomorrow, and the booking was just very, very mind-boggling to me. But you know what? That's WWE in a nutshell, so what can you do? Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please feel free to leave a like below. If you guys would like, go ahead and leave your guys' thoughts on Money in the Bank as well in the comment section below. You know, I'm pretty sure this is a pay-per-view where people are kind of going back and forth about it as well, because I have seen some people say it was a great show, and then there's people like me that didn't like it at all. So I am interested to see different opinions on it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. Of course, until next time, I'll see you guys then. Thank you guys for watching the video.